Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for week 28. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here from High-Tech Investment and welcome back to the channel. We are back after 1 week here of vacation. We had a bit of time off and that's also why you can find week 27 within here. So instead we're going to bunch up the last couple of weeks and we're going to also have a closer look at see how the month of June actually did for all our EAs that you can always find on our website. So all these things is going to be covered in this particular video here and we have a lot more. One of the things is particular video here is just before we went on vacation, that this video covering a part of portfolio build-up. We're going to talk a bit more about it later on in the program, why this is actually a particular good one to go and have a closer look at. And also Alex from Expert Forex is currently also on summer leave, but he has also managed to get a video out that I'm going to explain a bit more about in details. It looks very good, some of the results, and this is a EA that most probably will be released in the next couple of months. And last but not least, we also have what a lot of people actually watching this particular show in here has been looking for, some new results, some new signals that you can go and copy. And that covers several EAs in here. Some of them doesn't require much money in the future, and that's why a lot of people have been looking forward to this. The first ones are now on the coupling service, and obviously, as usual, we're also going to have a closer look at the coupling service to see which signals are best. As you will see, some of the new signals, they are at the very top together with what we already have. So it's going to be an exciting video here for you. Please watch it all the way to the end and let's get into it. Now, when it comes to yield notes, there's pretty much no information coming out at all. I reached out to Steve a couple of weeks ago by WhatsApp just to try and catch up, see if there was anything new, if there was any new deadlines or anything else information-wise that I could basically share on this particular news report in here, but he never replied to me. So clearly not much is happening. All I can see at the moment here is the master nodes are still running. You can compare it from week 26 to week 28. And if we have a look just at the PNY in here, we can see there's 3 new master nodes has been set up and about 22 on the SAPP side in here. That is all the activity that we can actually confirm here at this particular time. When it comes to the value of the SAPP coin, so basically the Rolls Royce of yield notes, well, it doesn't look good. It's still very much rock bottom in here. It looks like it has gone up slightly, but again, there's very few sells. There's a few there and a few buys in here, and that doesn't really create any extra value for that particular coin in here. All we can see is that our SAPP staking has done extremely well in this past month. 73% or 465,316 SAPP. So that is a massive amount on the staking. You can see that compared to February, March, April, and May. June was quite large and July is already looking even better in here. So I don't know exactly what is happening on the staking side. We know that we have a few problems with the wallets here also updating. You'll notice in here that the last update we have is from the 9th. So we are trying again with the new updated wallet that's available. Try and see if we can get this particular one going again. The other one is the PNY, and that's also doing quite well. So 11.5%. So over the past couple of weeks. And you can see that for the month of June, we also did about 20,000 in here. And for the past 2 weeks since last time, it was 17,157. PNY. So obviously it looks very good. A lot of PNY coming in, but we still need a value. The value is actually with the Bitcoin versus USDT. Last time when we watched Bitcoin, it was around 108. And as you can see now, it is actually at an all-time high, 122,275 as we speak. So slightly off the peak that actually happened this morning as we are doing this particular video in here. So quite exciting times for the people that are holding Bitcoin at the moment. It has some retracements. All of a sudden it shoots up again and it looks good for the holders here. Now, when it comes to the Wave Liberator for the month of June, well, we have the top 5 EAs here as usual. We're going to shorten down the video a bit in here. So basically not name all the numbers as we normally do, but you can see the New Zealand USD is actually topping $129, 12.9%. And then the lower part of the top 5 in here is the Aussie USD coming in at $106, 10.6%. And that is a very good average. All in all, if you have these particular 5 in the portfolio at the moment, each on $1,000 accounts, you would have made $576, 11.5%. So a very strong week again for the Wave Liberator. And why we like it so much is because it also continues to have a low drawdown compared to some of the other EAs in here. We started off with 22 $10,000 accounts, so that was 220,000. You can see the balance is up at 265. Floating profit and loss is around 12,000, which is not bad when you're considering 22 accounts in here. Total return is 21.8%, and again, this is on $10,000 accounts. Don't forget that. Monthly returns is 1.1, but again, we are calculating it on $1,000, so that's 11. Weekly returns will then be 3, and trade wins is 68%, with 68,000 pips taken out, and trades per day is 12. History is now getting very close to 700 days, so massive parts, and that's also why we have most of these on the copy-link service in here. All of them set up, ready to go. So all you have to do is set up a $1,000 account, and then it can be traded straight from there. If we have a closer look and see how well we actually did for the month, you can see the graph is pretty much nice and smooth. And that's also because for the month of June, we made $1,704 in here on the entire portfolio. So a very good and very strong month for the Wave Liberator once again. RSI Liberator for the same thing here in June, the top 5. The first one is actually the Euro CAD. As you can see, $106, 10.6%. So we are a bit lower compared to what we had with the RSI, with the Wave Liberator versus the ISI. And then the lower one of the top 5 in here, Great British Pounds USD, came in at $89, 8.9%. So that is still a very good average at the end of the day. So with 9.9 or $495 in here. So that is good stable income also for the top performers for the RSI Liberator, definitely. And if we have a closer look at it, you can see the floating profit or loss is slightly higher, but the graph is still good. And if we have a look at the monthly returns, it has dropped a bit from the normal 9%, then down to 8. But again, this is also because of some of the drawdowns, and then basically you're not cashing in the same way. We can see the trade wins are still good with 66%, and then trades per day is 50, and a history of 461 days. So it is looking very good, and you'll find also a lot of the links on the website that we have. You can go and have a closer look at those in here, and they are also with Expert Forex. So there's plenty of options if you need to trade some different currencies, some different EAs. So let's have a look at the portfolio overall for the RSI Liberator. It did better for the month of June also here, $1,344 compared to the prior month. So we are basically looking at the same as what we had in March. So another good month also for this particular EA. If we go to the Hedge EA for June, the top 5 in here, Euro USD has been very active. So the Hedge EA has made $168 or 16.8%. And the bottom one in here is the Aussie USD, $84, 8.4%. And that means an average for this particular 5 EA portfolio did $624 or 12.5%. So that's quite strong. The only one that seems to be a bit out of place is the Aussie USD. Came in a bit lower, but overall still cashing in quite nicely. And you'll also see that on the graph in here. When the trade war started, definitely the Hedge EA cashed in big time, but it also had a huge floating profit and loss, trying to get rid of that particular one. The monthly return is still running around 1.2 for a $10,000 account or 12% for a $1,000 account, which you can actually trade them on. Weekly returns is about 3% and has a very nice trade win of 70%, profit factor of 2, and also here trades per day is around 15 with a history of 175 days. So we're coming up to about half a year. And we have some of these on the copy link service already. This will most probably also be one of the ones that we are converting all the $10,000 accounts over to 1,000. So there'll be less confusion going forward. So let's have a look at the entire portfolio. You can see in April it did 5,000. That's where it cashed in with everything was trending like crazy. And now the month of June is actually up slightly from the month of May. 984 it did the entire portfolio in here. So not where we want to be, but still cashing in and still has to recover a bit. What doesn't need to recover is the new grid trader for the month of June in here. The high jumper this particular week in here is the Swiss francs Japanese, $364 or 36.4%. However, this particular EA sometimes is cashing in, but there's a target that this particular EA is looking for. So that means that it might be high right now, but it also might be a bit unrealistic going forward, because it again needs to close all the trades. And that's where this particular number could come down. What we have here at the bottom then of the top 5 is the New Zealand CAD with $160 or 16%. But overall, the average for these 5 EAs, and this is still very, very new, is $1,142, 22.8%. So extremely strong numbers that we have in here. And you can see how that has developed over time. We have one account that is making a bit of a fuss this particular week in here. But you can still see the graph runs well. This particular setup is 20 accounts, $1,000, and it looks pretty good here at the moment. It is in equity of plus, and hopefully it will continue to be that going forward. Total returns gone in so far is 5%. Monthly returns is 8.5. It has come down from a bit higher up. So let's see, we've made some adjustments again, because there's a new version of this particular EA out, which I'm going to cover a bit later on also in this program. Trade wins is a very high 76%, and then trades per day is also higher with 20 and a history now of 88 days. So it's looking good. And we now have some of these ones here on the website, and you can go and have a closer look. We will update everything to make sure that you know exactly where to go and find them, which ones are on the copy link service. You can see that later on in the program here. While we're doing this, we also have a closer look at the entire portfolio. And for the month of June, we have 1,747 coming in. That is slightly lower than for the month of May, but it is still very good and very stable results, even though this is very early days with this particular EA. Now, I mentioned earlier on that we made a new video just before we went on vacation here, and this is a second video, so basically covering how you build up portfolios, how to avoid the mistakes in here. And part of this particular video here, apart from showing you exactly how you should set up your signals, how you should set up your currency pairs, and we also have done in here part of a copy link service portfolio that we suggest that basically covers 5 different EAs in here and also different currency pairs in order to spread your risk as much as possible. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'll make sure that I'll copy in the link for this particular video so you can go and have a closer look. In the meantime, let's go and have a look at the lucky trader for the month of June. Also here, that EA has done really well with the Euro Swiss francs on top with $170 or 17%. And then at the bottom of the top 5 EAs in here, we have the Euro CAD, $111, 11.1%. And overall, this particular portfolio for the entire month did $677 or 13.5%. That is very good, very strong results again for this particular lucky trader. Lucky trader, of course, also we have 16 EAs in here. and that one has also incurred a bit of a floating profit or loss. We hope that that also recovers. This is all due to the trade war and the fluctuations in the US dollars, everybody rushing then to the Swiss francs, and at the same time the Japanese yen is also weakening. So there's a lot of things happening in the forex market at the moment. What we can see is monthly returns is around 11% for $1,000 accounts, 3% on the weekly returns, and then also here we have trades per day around 15 and a history of 253 days, making this still one of the very incredible EAs that making a lot of money. And that's also why you'll find on the website, on the copy link service, a lot of our signals in here. And for the entire portfolio, it is up from the month of May with 1,288. And that is pretty much on the average, as you can see, if you look back. So we are very close, even for December, January, February, and March. It was only in April when we had this huge hike up with the trade tariffs in here that a lot more cash was actually made. Now, some of the EAs that was discussed earlier here. So this is a video from Alex and Expert Forex regarding the Generation 4 upgrade. So this is for the simple grid trader in here. And there is a couple of updates. We had number 1, 2, 3, and 4 generations, but then we also have part of the versions that goes together with it in here. And the particular one here is now version 4, so Gen 4 version 4. But we also have a couple of new trade receivers and trade sender. So this is for the copy link service. So there's a new version 5 that was released a couple of weeks ago. We have updated all our settings to make sure that we have the latest and greatest. So also, if you are not sure, go and have a look at the Expert Forex or EA Factory website in here. Go and have a look, update them so you're sure you have the latest version. One of the things that was actually changed in the Generation 4 version 3 was the buy and sell. So basically marking up the limits of where the EA would cash in. And it also has the total part. So you will have 3 lines in here for this particular version 3. And then version 4 is actually just a language change, I believe, so, or adjustment. Now, Alex has made another video which looks extremely sort of interesting when it comes to an EA that seems to have a lot of different indicators all built together, trying to find turning points. And in this particular video here, he is trading gold. The first video he was trading on Bitcoin, but now it is gold. So obviously it can be used for a lot of different things. It has 100% profitability so far, which looks extremely good. It is still very much in development, but we would like to have our hands on it as soon as possible. Obviously, is to try and test it out to see what we can actually do with it. But it looks very, very encouraging, especially that you can use it on different types of, not just Forex, but you can use it on gold, Bitcoin, maybe even indexes in the future. We will obviously try and test some of these things out once we get our hands on this particular EA. In the meantime, let's go and have a look at the copy link service. And I was quite surprised. It looks like almost only our signals are in there now. So because once we are having a look at the floating profit or loss, we adjust that to, we don't want to see anything over 300. We also take the total negative weeks, shouldn't be over 300. And then we have return on total drawdown should be more than 200%. And then we basically sort it out high to low. And then we get a list in here. We have a look at some of the listings that are not ours. And we could see, again, some of them have some massive drawdowns. They shouldn't be on the list. We removed all of them. And we ended up just with our list in here. And these are the numbers. You can see the orange or yellow, whatever you want to call it, is basically the new ones that has come out. And especially the 301, the 300, the 302, and 303 in here, as you can see, are doing all well. And that is the simple RSI trader. So this is the one that can also be used for the US market in here, because there's only one trade open at a time. It's not a grid system, and you can go as low as $300, which is what we are trading them on. Some of them are doing extremely well here at the moment. So they are doing so well that they pretty much have 100% trade win so far. So this is one of them that we have up here. So this is link 301C. Started off with 300, and at the moment you can see the balance is 357. The equity is actually higher with 361 because the floating profit on loss is actually up by 465. So close profit is already in there. And you'll also notice the total return that FX Blue is calculating it at is around 20%. Monthly returns is calculated to 19. Weekly returns based on the prior results is around 4%, and trade wins, as I mentioned, is at 100%. We have taken 250 pips. You'll see that it doesn't trade much. It has a history of about 1 month. And obviously here you'll see every single time it has been cashing in. And look at the floating profit and loss. I think we're around $12, $13 in here as the maximum drawdown for a $300 account. So these particular ones, they have taken a long time to get set up and get it right. Some of them still don't work in the entire portfolio in here, but definitely the ones that are running, similar to this one here, is cashing in quite nicely. And you can now obviously copy these particular signals in here if you go on the Expert Forex website. So that's what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, the profits are still very, very good on a lot of these particular EAs. It looks extremely good also on some of the new ones. And we even have further things coming in the future with Expert Forex. Obviously, we're going to test that particular EA also when it becomes available. Overall, the trading market looks extremely good, even though you still have some trending, especially on the Swiss francs Japanese. You also have it on a lot of the US dollar pairs in here. We are obviously monitoring this particular one. We are changing our strategy all the time because this is basically something we haven't seen before for a very long time. So I definitely suggest that you are being careful going forward in here. So the markets are very volatile. That means, of course, good profits, but it could also mean that you have increased drawdowns. It is difficult to tell here at the moment which way the wind blows, but you will always hear the news coming straight here from High Tech Investment every single week. We are trying to give you the best opportunity here to understand what these EAs can do and what kind of profits they can actually also gather over time for you. So I hope you like this particular video here. Please give us a thumbs up and a like, and hopefully I'll see you on one of my next videos. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.